Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Treasure Buddies. This is a 2012 movie. It runs an hour and 36 minutes long, and it is a spin-off, apparently, of the Air Bud films. This is not the first in this series of buddy movies. Air Bud, he's the dog who plays basketball and maybe football, maybe who knows, hockey. I have no idea. He's just a character. He was just an amazing dog. But the spin-offs feature puppies, and there's like five of them here, and they're the buddies. And this is again this is a spin-off of Air Bud, but this is one of many sequels. Independent films that are completely self-contained, except unless you've seen previous ones. Like Santa Buddies, I think, is the most well-known of this series. It's a Christmas film with cute puppies that talk, and yeah. So anyway, these are like direct-to-video movies for the most part. I can't imagine this was ever in theaters. It relies mainly on a voice cast to voice the puppies and digital animators to make their mouths move. I've said this before, and I'll say it one more time. I hate movies with animals that have moving mouths. I realize there's probably no reason for that. It's just me. It's just my pet peeve. Pet peeve. No pun intended. It's just bad. I just don't like it. I mean, there's like Homeward Bound. They have dogs, Michael J. Fox and everything else. They're talking, but their mouths aren't moving. Because why up the budget on spending time to make the dogs' mouths move, or getting their heads in the right position in order to animate the mouths? Because that's half the job, honestly, I imagine. I mean, getting the dogs in the right position in order for them to hold that position long enough so that you can animate the mouth. And or making do with the shots you do get to then finesse them in a way that makes it look like, oh, we intend to do that all the time, and that's the position, the way they're supposed to face when they talk. I mean, that's just, to me, it seems like a waste of a digital animation crew. Anyway, yeah, this is, I suffered for you. It's not a good movie. It's not. I mean, like I said, there's Santa Buddies, there's Space Buddies, there's all sorts of buddies. This one's Treasure Buddies, and it's essentially an Indiana Jones film with puppies that talk. And yeah, I mean, it completely, absolutely is playing to the parents who have to suffer through this if they got this for their kids, or the kids are watching it on TV, or however, whatever it is. I mean, it's a clear as day ripoff of Indiana Jones in the opening sequence. There's an archaeologist who wears a fedora, lots of tan, and he's in a temple. Just happened to have his dog with him, I guess they're Labrador retrievers or something, or I don't know. But anyway, they're the dog's with them. They find a cat-related treasure, and that sets off a bunch of the temple, crashing down on them, which of course makes sense when you booby trap things. Just destroy everything, and they have to race against time through the temple to get out and escape into the sand, and the dog is able to retrieve the piece even though his master dropped it, and hero. And then that's like in the 1930s. I mean, and even the music is meant to evoke John Williams' score from Indiana Jones. There's little flourishes that feel John Williamsy, but are not. To be clear, they did not bother borrowing the music, because even though they borrowed the look, it's a dude in Indiana Jones cosplay doing archaeology stuff, because that's what archaeologists all look like, and how they all dress, and how they deal with treasure when they go get that stuff. So anyway, we jump ahead to the modern day, 2012, and he's an older guy. He's played by Richard Reel, who is, you've seen him in a ton of stuff, but most famously for me anyway, he's the guy in Office Space who has created the jump to conclusions mat, and he tries to explain it to everybody. And yeah, he's and he gets really injured at work or something, and then anyway, but he ends up, creating the jump to conclusions mat, or he tries to anyway, and it's a funny joke. So yeah, but he's like the main character along with his grandson, and this is I mean, if there's any redeeming quality to this, it's a story about a grandson and a grandfather, showing I mean, a true love for each other and spending time. And it says, hey, your grandparents might be cooler than you think. They might have experiences you might not know about, and they would love to tell you that story. That's kind of I mean, that's like the nugget in this that is redeemable. It's like, okay, that's sweet. That is really sweet. But again, 90% of the focus is on the talking puppies. Each of them have a distinct personality. One is there's 4 boys and a girl. The girl happens, I'm getting ahead of myself. The girl sees something. She's like, oh, that's a pretty color. Wait, you're a dog. You're colorblind. You shouldn't know what pink is. So I realize they don't bother explaining that to children, but you'll learn that when you grow up. Sorry, kids. Your dog can't see pink, and she can't be just totally taken with the colors of that outfit that she's dressed in. So there's one that's, okay, it's the girl. She's girly, but she can hold her own. They make that very clear. Just because she's a girl, she's as feisty as the rest of them. Even though she's not a boy, she's tough, and she knows how to handle herself. So, just so you know. Again, I know I shouldn't crap on this because it's not made for me. Not everything is made for me. Not everything is made for my generation, my people my age, or any age. But there's a lot of this stuff is made for little kids. Honestly, 5-year-olds will probably eat this up and just soak it in, just watching these puppies talk and wishing that their dog would talk to them like this. Like, it's just imagining this great inner monologue that the puppies must have, and they're loyal and they're friendly and they're silly, and that, wouldn't that be great if their dogs did that? And maybe some kids like to imagine their dogs can. So that is also another redeeming quality. I'm looking for the best I can in everything I watch, even Treasure Buddies, but it's still doesn't make it a good movie. The dialogue is horribly contrived. The sets are horrible. Of course, you're not going to watch Treasure Buddies for like high quality sets and top-notch digital effects. It's not something you're gonna expect. So you actually keep your expectations low for all that stuff. Oh, it's a studio in Burbank. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not Egypt. So anyway, the story involves a very slimy dude played by Edward Herrmann. If you don't know that name, you've seen his face. He's Edward Herrmann. You've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's a character actor. He's no longer with us, but he plays a great bad guy, and he has a cat, one of those hairless cats, and she is evil. She's the one who is played by Elaine Hendricks. She was the girlfriend of the dad in the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap movie. So she's also a great character actor. She's done a ton of stuff, and she's great comedy. But she plays the evil vixen in pretty well in pretty much any role she takes, even when she's voicing a cat, a very naked cat. But yeah, it's the concept is this guy shows up with the other half of this treasure that will hopefully lead them to the tomb of Cleopatra. Yes, Cleopatra. That's the thing. It's basically Cleopatra's cat. And you know how cats are revered in Egyptian culture. At least there's all the the archaeology and things we've uncovered over the years. Cats are a big part of ancient Egyptian culture. Well, apparently there was a bit of a problem for Cleopatra, who also seemed to have superpowers, who control the weather. I guess I don't know. This is all played out in a flashback sequence as Grandpa tells his grandson a story about what is going on here. It's a big exposition thing, but rather than having them sitting at a camp next to their tent in the middle of the Egyptian desert, yeah, it's like it's not freaking boiling outside in the summer in the daytime, but it's also apparently not freezing cold at night. I don't know. Um, I guess those kind of logistics are just not something you really would need to deal with when you're having a children's film. Anyway, um, the cat Cleopatra decided to steal Cleopatra's necklace at some point, or did something, but a very loyal dog who was the great great ancestor of the puppies, the buddies, protected Cleopatra, and then Cleopatra said, "No, man's best friend's going to be dogs from now on. Screw cats." Really? So Cleopatra decided all of that. That's why dogs are man's best friend. And yeah, that's the big backstory on all that. You don't have to watch the movie now because you know how history unfolded. Oh boy. So yeah, a lot. It's so much of it's just overly contrived. It's meant to put the puppies in cute situations. Even when they're in a box, they sneak aboard a plane in a box full of dynamite, in which one of them starts eating the dynamite, and then results in a very orange fart cloud, which makes people look away at the last moment as they open the crate when it arrives in Egypt, so they don't see the puppies come running out of it. So, in case you're wondering how puppies got to Egypt when they weren't supposed to, 5 puppies got to Egypt. Oh, on top of this, by the way, is another layer. This is a story also told in flashback by a monkey named Bobby. He's telling it to his son or his grandson, Babu. I don't know. In very uncomfortable accents. It's full of uncomfortable accents. I mean, honestly, the two voiceovers I really appreciated. One was Tim Conway playing a very small role as like a basset hound, who he honestly I think he has 3 lines in the entire film. The classic comedy comedian Tim Conway. Come on. The only way they could have made it better is if Harvey Korman would have been there too, but yeah, I don't think that was possible at the time. And this, when the puppies meet a kid camel who's about to be sold by bad men, it's voiced by probably the most adorable little girl. Her name is Caitlin Mayer. Mayer. She's adorable in her profile picture, but her voice, it's just hearing it come out of a camel is freaking adorable. Let's see. I mean, yes. I mean, sure. The puppies are absolutely cute. Yes. I still can't believe I'm reviewing this movie. The puppies are absolutely cute. I love dogs. It's just that there's 5 of them and they're constantly talking. But honestly, whenever this camel starts talking, and you just hear the tiniest little girl voice come out of it. It's so freaking cute. So it just doesn't work. Like, it's not a voice you think of when it comes to camels, but it works. So those are the 2 voices that I'll forgive. Well, Elaine Hendricks as the cat, but still. There's one. I mean, all the puppies each have distinct personalities. As I was trying to say earlier, one's the girl, so that's her personality, and one is like the leader. His name is Muddy Buddy, but whatever. Butterball. Then there's B Dog, who is he talks street. He has an urban slang. It's the urban slang that is expressed when it's obviously a kid from the suburbs trying to pretend that he's street. Yeah, it is portrayed by a white kid, but it is just not it wears off real fast. I can't believe. Okay, I've spent 15 minutes on this. There's nothing else I really need to tell you that's going to say, oh my gosh, you need to see this. If you want to get just blackout drunk and watch it, adults, not kids, adults, yeah, go for it. And just maybe it's funnier if you're high. I have no idea. You have to be in some sort of altered state, I imagine, to really enjoy this, because I can't understand as an adult. Little kids, sure. 5-year-olds, under, maybe, I don't know. They might get a kick out of this. They might. But as an adult, do not expect yourself to go, oh my gosh, that was clever. That was a clever piece of movie making. And nothing against the people who made it. I mean, it's honestly something Disney saw a market and said, hey, you know what? Let's make more Air Bud movies, but quintuple the amount of dogs and still keep them talking and doing crazy stuff. I mean, at some point we're going to see them go off into space. I can't believe I've gone this long gone over 2 years now of doing this, and this is the first Buddies movie we watched. So, and it's 10 years old. I'm sorry, but we're going to pick tomorrow's episode.
108.
108. Ooh. Let it be Lost. Lost isn't on here. When is Lost? Lost should be on Disney Plus. It's owned by Disney. It's ABC. Actually, it's... Oh, okay. I thought I saw this one, or maybe not. Lost will end up being on Hulu. Anyway, 108. We got a short. Not a documentary and not a Buddies movie. But it is something we have seen... They have films of. It's a very popular thing from the Disney Channel or Disney XD. But this is short. And I don't know if it's live action or animated or what, but let's revisit the world of the kids of evil Disney villains. Descendants, The Royal Wedding. Descendants, The Royal Wedding is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.